Hello, everyone. Good morning. Okay.
Hi, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for being
Hi,
here.
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for your availability. Thank you for being here. You are very welcome to the ENFIELD webinar on the Second Innovation Scheme Open Call. Just before we officially start the session, I just want you to note that it will be recorded and then uploaded to our YouTube channel and website. So if you don't wish to have your image captured, this will be the right moment to close your cameras. Okay, so let's start. So for the agenda today, I will just give you a brief introduction on the ENFIELD project. Then our ENFIELD consortium researchers will give you a thorough explanation of the scientific challenges that we have for this innovation scheme open call. And then I will also help you navigate a little bit the open call. So in terms of how to apply, to understand the eligibility criteria and the evaluation process. And then at the end, we will have a Q&A session. So throughout the session, if you have any questions, you have a Q&A tab on the left upper part. So you can just open it and write whatever questions that you may have. Please note that if you have a question related to a specific challenge, please use the corresponding code that you will be able to see throughout the presentation, so it's easier for us to identify who should answer to those questions as well. Okay. So about the ENFIELD project, ENFIELD stands for the European Lighthouse to Manifest Trustworthy and Green AI. ENFIELD is set to create a European Center of Excellence that excels the fundamental research in areas that are new, that are strategic, and of paramount importance to the successful AI development, deployment, and acceptance in Europe. So a little bit about the topic background. That means how ENFIELD came to be. The ENFIELD essentially came to answer the call for a human-centered and ethical development of digital and industrial technologies within the topic of European Network of AI Excellence Centers, expanding the European AI Lighthouse. As such, ENFIELD starting in September 2023 and is set to conclude in September 2026. And with a total budget of around 11.5 million euros, is then set to establish, as I said before, this distinctive European Center of Excellence that will help establish the European AI Lighthouse, uniting research efforts to reduce fragmentation, attract investments, and position Europe as a global AI leader. So here you can see a schematic representation of the ENFIELD pillars and industrial domains. So the fundamental research areas of ENFIELD are adaptive, green, human-centric, and trustworthy AI, which we represent in the form of pillars. And then corresponding to these, we have 4 industrial domains referring to the key industry sectors, namely energy, healthcare, manufacturing, and space. And by conducting high-level research aligned with the challenges in these industry areas, ENFIELD aims to strengthen the EU's competitive position in AI. So about the ENFIELD consortium, it is composed by 30 members from 18 different countries, including top-level education and research organizations, large-scale businesses, SMEs, and public sector representatives. You can see all of our members here represented in this slide. So one interesting thing about the ENFIELD project is that we have open calls. We have 2 types of different open calls. We have third-party exchange schemes, which are TES, and third-party innovation schemes, which are TIS. I'm going to explain a bit more about these now. So the third-party exchange schemes, they intend to provide support to a total of 76 top-level researchers to conduct foundational research activities related to specific scientific challenges in artificial intelligence. And for these, we have 4 open calls. We are currently on our 3rd open call. And we also have the third-party innovation schemes. Right now, you are in a webinar for an innovation scheme. And for these schemes, the project intends to provide support for at least 18 small-scale projects from R&D institutions to conduct applied research to answer specific technical challenges. And for these, we have 2 open calls. This is the second of the 2 open calls. So as I was saying before, we had our first open call in June last year, 2024, and we are currently having our second open call that opened on April 2025. For the number of challenges that we have available for this open call, it's a total of 9. The distribution is as follows. So healthcare as 1 challenge, energy 2, manufacturing 4, and space 2. So now for the challenges, I would like to give the floor to our researchers. And once again, if you have any questions related to the challenges, please use the corresponding codes to identify the challenge. You will be able to see the code on the top right part of the slide. So first of all, we have healthcare, and I would like to give the floor to our partner, Astik Samal. Please, Astik, go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm Astik Samal, representing Group Majoli, Grupo Majoli, and will be speaking about the enhanced AI-powered remote monitoring system. So this is basically the ITH1. Here, the challenge that we propose the state of art to be like in the current wearable healthcare devices environment. Primarily, we rely on the PPG for the heart rate tracking, as well as some basic physiological monitoring. While if these are effective in some cases, these solutions often lack access to raw sensor data as well as restrict real-time algorithmic intervention. So the challenge we would like to pose is to embed the real-time AI algorithms into the wearable devices for early detection of any kind of cardiac conditions. So primarily, we're focusing on the arterial fibrillation, hypertension, and or glycemic dysregulation. So the task is to integrate and analyze the multimodal data streams in case of ECG, PPG, or any accelerometer for a context-aware physiological interpretation. For example, the heart rate, if you are sitting at home, there is a certain rhythmic heart rate, whereas if you are in a busy environment outside your house, your heart rate might fluctuate. So the contextual awareness of the data and the physiological interpretation is paramount in this scenario. To develop also an unsupervised pre-training algorithms for on-device activity detection, and to ensure that the data quality is continuous as well as it is power efficient, and the reliable signal processing can happen between the variable constraints. So the expected results in this case is to have a functional variable prototype of a rather lower TRL, which is 4 to 5, with real-time functionalities and embedded AI for cardiac event detection. To also achieve a multi-sensor data integration with contextual awareness and support for any kind of future AI model upgrades that we would like to bring on to the wearable prototype. And last but not the least, to have at least 2 peer-reviewed published papers in journals or conferences. But we understand that 6 months is not a big enough time to publish the paper, but at least we would see if we can submit the paper, and then the publication can happen later on at a later stages. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Astik. I will then give the floor to our partner from EVP, Manuel Pio Silva. Please go ahead.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Hope you are hearing me okay. So this is the first challenge that we have regarding energy vertical from ENFIELD. And so what we are settling here, it's not only to detect energy poverty, as you might know, and it's described in the challenge, but we are mainly concerned about detecting the early signs. So this is much helpful regarding what we have in the context of municipalities, because in this specific challenge we are having the collaboration of one municipality. We hope to have more, and by detecting the early signs of energy poverty, of course, we can reduce the cost of fighting this problem that we have in our society. So for the challenge, we want mainly to get the data not only from consumption from the buildings, but also the data that is related, weather data, whatever you find. This might sound a little bit awkward, but we don't have a model that we might use. We have several models, so we are targeting for a multi-model scheme. And then we want also to use let's say distributed architecture for regarding this data. We don't want to duplicate data. We want to use an architecture that goes to the original sources and get the data that you need. Okay, this will have a great impact regarding the results that we want to disseminate, scale up. Of course, your name will be associated with this, for the good and for the bad, but so we hope for the good. And so the model is going to be evaluated regarding its effectiveness using KPIs, and its scale up for future use. So feel free to ask me everything that you might need to know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manuel. I'll just remind you again, if you need to ask any questions, please look at the little code that you have in the top right part, and then you can make any questions that you wish on the Q&A tab. Thank you. So for the second energy challenge, we go back to Astik, please.
Thank you. So we also have a challenge in the energy domain vertical with the name City Sustainability Index, so that is IDE2. Here the storyline behind is that the advent of industrialization has brought forward development of multiple public infrastructure by the public entities and has increased energy requirements. So this has led to maybe by the construction of new roadways or to facilitate daily commutes, newly built residential housing to accommodate the new population influx into that area, and that would eventually lead on to having more educational or public amenities to support the families and the brought forward community expansion into the particular residential area as well as the industrial zone. So to tackle onto this challenge, we would like to build or let's say the model the mapping of the area as proof of concept in the form of an AI-based energy consumption dashboard. So to develop and that energy consumption dashboard will be an aggregation of diverse operational data, pollution indexes, energy usage from smart city IoT platforms, which we will provide some data from our IoT platforms as well. To model the industrial and the residential zones as living laboratories to perform analytics on the real time as well as the historical data inputs. And to also predict the population migration that will happen into the industrial zones and assess the corresponding impacts that might bring forward for the public infrastructure as well as the municipality at large. And to design an algorithm for the energy uses forecasting so that we can incorporate some nonlinear relationships as well as some temporal patterns that can be observed across the urban systems. Here, the expected result would be to deliver a correlation analysis between the heterogeneous data in terms of environmental, demographic, or any energy data to have a boost towards the policy as well as the planning decisions that the company might take or the municipality can take in terms of the non-linear and the time-based impact. Overall, to create a software algorithm which will accurately predict the energy demand in this urban industrial areas and in larger context to the residential areas as well nearby to this newly formed urban the industrial zones of course at the end as I mentioned earlier to build an AI powered dashboard which will have a real-time visualization or a decision support system and of course it will have an aggregation of the multiple operational data so and that can be done as part of proof of concepts for as part of the living laboratories for the industrial and the residential zones. So as I mentioned in the previous challenge as well, we will need to produce at least 2 peer-reviewed conference or journal publications. And as I mentioned earlier, this can also be submission instead of a real paper publication because 6 months is a pretty little time to have the research as well as the publication done. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Astik. We'll then move on to the manufacturing challenges, and this will be presented by our partner from DTI, François. François, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to present 2 challenges from the manufacturing vertical. The first one is about the reparation and the remanufacturing of household appliances. We are talking here about computers, portable, and fridges. In order to repair and remanufacture these appliances, generally speaking, we are trying to disassemble them at first so that we can inspect the different components of the appliances. And we are interested in unscrewing these elements from the appliances, and so using adaptive AI methods and algorithms to detect the screws on the different appliances. One of the main challenges, of course, here is that we don't know beforehand what we are looking for, so we don't know which model of appliances we are looking at. And of course, where are the screws and all are there? I mean, they can be different in size, in shape, in colors, maybe, and so on. So that's why we're talking about adaptive AI here. So we're interested in working on these adaptive AI models and methods to detect in real time the different screws, either through 2D images and or 3D point clouds. we can, of course, consider other modalities. These methods should be able to handle new and unknown product design and screw design as well on the fly, without having to retrain the AI model. And yeah, as I told you, it must accommodate varying design in terms of products and screws. We can consider approaches involving the interactions with an operator. So either with voice commands or manual guidance or whatsoever. I mean, everything is possible here. We definitely can consider these approaches. The expected results for this challenge is some method to train an AI model able to detect in real time the screws on laptops and refrigerators. And of course, it must be adaptive, so we can detect, we can tackle new design of appliances, of refrigerators and laptops. We need a demonstration, so thanks to a proper setup with a robot arm equipped with a screwdriver. And it should be both at the applicant site and as well at the mentor institution company. We ask for one peer review, at least one peer-reviewed scientific publication, and we strongly encouraged the availability of the data sets used during this work so that they are publicly available.
Should I move on to the next
please.
one, François?
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Please.
And this one I'm going on, we are placing ourselves in a smart manufacturing context. So in a smart manufacturing, we need more and more data, supposing as well that we are working with AI methods to process this data. And these data sets are generally mixed in a way that you got real data, you got synthetic data, you got even now AI generated data. So we have a huge mix of data, which raises concerns about the trustworthiness of these AI systems and the safety of these AI systems. So here, lots of frameworks exist, but they are very theoretical, not very practical. And so we are looking here at tools and metrics, practical ones, so that we can assess the reliability and the robustness of these AI systems through their data sets used to train the different models. So this is the scientific challenge. We are looking for practical and user-friendly software tools and metrics to assess the reliability and robustness of AI models based on their training data set. We are talking here about time series or 2D images. And the possible risks we want to assess, I'm giving a list here, but it's not limited to that. So bias, of course, exposure of sensitive information, operator safety in a manufacturing context, the system integrity, and the disruptions of the operational workflows. Again, these data sets are mixed, so real data, synthetic data, and artificial data, AI-generated data. And here, the applicants are responsible for creating their own data sets. The expected results, so we are looking at software tools and metrics. We want a demonstration as well through different AI-driven manufacturing scenarios that the mentor institution can suggest, but every kind of suggestions are welcomed. At least one peer-reviewed scientific publication, and once again, strongly encouraging the public data sets and the code to be available for the public. That's it for me.
Thank you so much, François. Then for the third manufacturing and fourth manufacturing challenges, we have our partner from Polyme, Walter Quadrini. Please, Walter.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me well.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this third manufacturing challenge is devoted, as the title says, for fit recognition in manufacturing environment, meaning that the winners of the challenge are expected to train a model to recognize not only to recognize the shoes of the on the feet of industrial operators, but also to deploy additional software in order to enable a gesture recognition of the feet. And this is expected to be tested in real or real-like scenarios where operators with their feet are able to give commands to robots or machines, or in any case, these commands are supposed to be detected. And this is motivated by the fact that in manufacturing environments, usually operators need their hand to perform their task. Also, some KPIs to be established are supposed to be evaluated, and yeah, some generic interface is also supposed to be deployed. Please, next slide. Where we have the fourth challenge. This is more generic, is about the integration of human-centric trustworthy attributes of AI solutions, but because of the transition from the so-called Industry 4.0 to the so-called Industry 5.0. This AI software model deployed for the application is supposed also to enhance the safety of the operator and their security manufacturing environment, considering not only the operational risks but also the environmental risks. Also is expected some rejection of what are the usual disturbances in AI algorithm. In this case, since the manufacturing shop floors are generally male dominated, the model deployed or enriched is supposed to reject this bias, ensuring the same performance also for female gender operators. And needless to say, also for these last two challenges, key evaluation is the dissemination on the scientific community. So through scientific paper writing and submission. So also in this case, we expect at least one paper, the submission of at least one paper, and of course the better will be structured the dissemination plan, the higher will be the evaluation of that part. That's all from my side.
Sorry, I stopped sharing. Let me share again. Okay. So here we are. There you go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, thank you very much, Walter. So we are moving on to the space challenges, and for the first space challenge, we have our partner from ECOE. Stelios, please go ahead.
Hello, thank you, Marianna. I am Stelios Neofitidis from Radosthenis Center of Excellence, and the task that we are proposing for the innovation scheme is space-based maritime surveillance using remote sensing and Earth observation data. So what we are actually facing in this field is the dynamic character of events in the sea, which is characterized by different vessels movement and the way that oil spills are developing, for example. We also have a variability of sea conditions, like the appearance of waves, of wind events. So this is makes the environmental context really difficult to detect any other human events that are taking part in the sea. So also what we want to do, because maritime is a field that we have to inspect in very often. We want to integrate multiple Earth observation sources of data in order to ensure the rapid response and minimize false alarms rate as much as possible. And we are expecting from this innovation scheme to have the application of well-known artificial intelligence models on the space-based maritime surveillance, and integrate them in a proof of concept web application for continuous monitoring and alerts in the Mediterranean Sea. Moreover, we are expecting a journal publication in a high impact factor and peer-reviewed journal, and of course, any conference participations and the public availability of data is more than welcome and encouraged. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stelios. And then for our final challenge, I would like to invite Ignacio. Please go ahead. Ignacio, can you hear me? I don't think Ignacio is.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Ignacio, you can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. Please go ahead.
Okay, sorry about this. Well,
No problem.
my name is Ignacio Vidal. I'm an autonomy engineer at the Airspace Operational Efficiency and Autonomy Group at Point Aerospace Spain. Right, and the challenge that we propose implies finding solutions to that enable robust vision-based autonomous navigation for UAVs that have low size, weight, and power requirements. Right. So what does this mean? Right. The idea here is to solve navigation, any challenge associated with navigation, using only vision data. So whatever you can detect with a camera, just as like a pilot would do, right? So that itself is challenging. And then you have to take into account that the environment where you operate is completely dynamic. It changes. If you train whatever neural network on some environment, then you have to operate in another. It changes a lot. On top of that, UAVs are small in size and power, so whatever algorithms are applied here, they have to offset that those constraints, right? It cannot be power hungry, because then you eat all your batteries or your source of power, right? There are many aspects of this challenge that can be tackled, so this is very open. I give you a few examples of the thing we're looking for, but it's really open. It's kind of up to you what you want to be focused on. We don't expect you to solve all these factors associated to the challenge, right? So the beneficiary, if you apply for this challenge, you can choose to focus on whether you want to focus on navigation or obstacle avoidance, detect and avoid, or path planning. All of these are problems that are associated with vision-based navigation, right? And one important thing is that for this is a critical application, right? These are critical functions, and we need high levels of robustness and trustworthiness, right? if you choose to train, say, an artificial neural network, you have to justify why this, what's the level of trustworthiness of this solution, right? That's kind of the context here for this challenge. And what the thing that we expect from the selected applicant is to choose one or at least one of the associated problems with this challenge and develop AI-based algorithms and models and put all of them together in a proof of concept application. Proof of concept is okay. We don't want a full-fledged application because that would be out of scope for 6 months. It's really, really short time. So we want this proof of concept. And after all of this is done, because this is in the context of the ENFIELD project, we also expect publication, right? So at least one journal publication is what we expect from the selected applicant, right? And I think that's summarizes everything. I'll be happy to answer any question that you may have for this challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ignacio. So now, first of all, I would like to thank all of our partners for a very thorough presentation of the challenges. I hope that you found them interesting and that you are now interested in applying to our open call. First, I also forgot to present myself in the beginning of this session, so you might be wondering, who am I? My name is Mariana Ferreira. I'm here accompanied by my colleagues Ana Leal, Tiago Carvalho, and Bárbara Rocha, and we compose the Innova team. Innova is the Portuguese partner of the ENFIELD project, and we are tasked with managing and overseeing the ENFIELD open calls. So it's very nice to meet you. So now, if you are interested in applying, this might be very useful information for you. So I'm going to walk you through on how to apply, some of the eligibility conditions, and the evaluation process. So as I showed a little bit before, this is our second open call. The granted amount per application, per accepted proposal will be up to 60,000 euros. We are expecting to grant 10 proposals, and the call will be closing shortly on the 17th of June of this year. As some of the partners have been mentioning, the duration of the activities is up to 6 months, and you have a deadline to finish all of the activities, which is 30th of June of next year, 2026. So regarding the eligibility, who can apply to our open call? This call is designed for private for-profit companies, including startups, SMEs, and large companies. If you are wondering whether you are qualified as an SME, please consult the EU recommendation that you can see over there on the slide, and then you will be able to see if you are eligible or not. And then other than these entities, we also designed this call for research centers. It's important that you note that these entities need to be from EU member states or Horizon Europe associated countries. You can check the list on our guideline for applicants, which you already have access to through our website. And it's important that none of you are also part of the ENFIELD consortium. So in terms of application, you can apply individually, so one legal entity, or in a group of a minimum of 2 legal entities. So how to apply? The application is done exclusively through the EU survey. You can scan the QR code and you will be redirected to the page. But once again, you have all of this information on our website and on the guideline for applicants. It's a completely online application. It's important that you answer all of the mandatory questions, and you also have to fill in a budget template, which I will explain a bit more just in a short while. Accept the terms and conditions, and then submit your proposal by the 17th of June of 2025. Please note that we will not be receiving any applications beyond this deadline. So if you submit your proposal later than this date, it will not be considered. Okay, so please pay attention to that. So on how to apply, once you check the EU survey link, this is what will appear for you. So you need to choose the type of application. It will be either an individual or a consortium application. If it's an individual, you will just need to answer some regular administrative questions, such as your organization details, and we will also need a contact information for the main representative of the entity. If you are applying as a consortium, we will need all of the details from the members of this consortium. So it will be composed by a main entity, which will be a main representative of the consortium, of the group, and therefore we will need, for a contact information, we will need a contact for the main representative, okay? But then for the entities themselves, we'll need all of their information, as you can see here on the left part of the slide. After this, you will need to choose the challenge for which you are applying. You can see here on the right part how it works. You have the code for the challenge and then the description of the challenge. You just choose whatever one you want to apply to, and then fill in your proposal title, your proposal abstract. Please also pay attention to the character limits. And for the proposal abstract, what we are looking for is just to know the main objectives, your expected results, the activities that you propose to do, and the European added value. And then you need to also choose the duration of your project, for which we said earlier that would be up to 6 months. So earlier in other open calls, we did this is what we would call the technical annex, because this was a downloadable document that you have to fill in and then upload again. But now everything is available online on the EU survey. So what we need to know from you is the following fields. You need to please fill them in very completely, and also respect the maximum number of characters. So first of all, that would be novelty of the proposal. We want to know if your proposal is beyond of the state of the art. Is it innovative? Is it new? And also we need for you to detail your technical approach, so meaning your methods and methodology. Also, please identify the technological readiness level that you wish to achieve. And for dissemination and communication, we want to know if how do you propose to use the results? How do you propose to disseminate the results? And then finally, for the team expertise in the field of research, we want to know the competence and the skills of the team that will be working on your proposal. Okay, so for the budget template that I mentioned earlier, this is an Excel file. This file just presents a simplified estimation of costs for the implementation of the proposed project. As you can see here, you will have to choose whether you're a research center or a private for-profit company. Why is this relevant? Because when the beneficiaries are private for-profit organizations, once we determine the total estimated cost for the proposal, the exact amount of financial support to be granted as a lump sum will be calculated at 70% of the eligible cost, following the rules of the Horizon Europe program. So all proposals must provide the budget overview for the implementation of their proposal, including the expected costs concerning, for example, staff costs, travel costs, equipment, consumables costs, and more. Just please pay attention to this difference between the research center and the private for-profit company. So the selection process, how does this work? So an initial eligibility verification will be done by Innova to filter out and discard non-eligible proposals. So proposals that are marked as non-eligible will get a rejection letter with a justification, but no additional feedback on the process will be given. The proposals that are considered eligible will move on then to the evaluation phase. And this evaluation will be done remotely by one senior expert from ENFIELD partner industry organizations and then 2 external senior experts. For the evaluation itself, as you can see, we have all of this evaluation criteria. So for the advanced state-of-the-art, we will look at the extent to which the proposal is beyond the state-of-the-art and presents an innovative approach behind it. The soundness of the technical approach refers to the credibility of the proposed methodology for the implementation of the project, that is, the feasibility of the proposed research methodology and working arrangements. For the dissemination and communication criteria, we will look at the effectiveness of the proposed measures to exploit and disseminate the project results. And then the technical and creative capacities, we will look at the demonstration of competences and skills of the candidate and the track record of the team in scientific publications and similar projects. You can also check the scores that we will apply, and then we also have here a summary on the right part of the ranking rules. But what's really important is that the final score, including for each criterion, is the average of the 3 evaluations provided by the 3 senior experts. The threshold for each criterion is 3. Therefore, the overall score threshold is 12. This indicates that if a proposal scores less than 3 in any criterion or an overall score of less than 12, the proposal is automatically rejected. The advanced state-of-the-art criterion is given a weight of 1.5 to determine the final ranking. All of this information is on the guidelines for applicants so that you can consult it again later on. For a consensus meeting, so our evaluators will hold a consensus meeting to prepare a single consensus evaluation report for each proposal, representing the opinions and scores on which the evaluators agree and which they will sign. The ranking list and selection of applicants will be determined by consensus, and if a consensus is not possible, then a majority vote of 2 out of 3 will be used. And here you can just check the overall schedule. So this is an indicative schedule for the different stages of the selection procedure. So as you know, the call opened on the 17th of April. The deadline is the 17th of June. And then the evaluation will go from the 18th of June to the 18th of July, so 1 month exactly. Our participants will be informed of the results on the 23rd of July. And of course, this is an indicative date, so please take that into consideration. We are planning to sign the sub-grant agreement on the 8th of August, and then the project execution timeframe is as it goes. And as I said before, all activities need to be wrapped up before the 30th of June of 2026. Okay, that is it for us. And now we have the Q&A session open. If you have any questions that you have done throughout the session or that you wish to do now, please do so on the Q&A tab. And once again, thank you very much for being here. We will now move on to the Q&A session then. Let me just stop sharing and then we can look. Yeah.
So our partners have been replying already to the
perfect.
questions, but nevertheless, I would ask them also to reply lively, so other participants might have the same or similar questions, and therefore clarifications would be given to all. David has made a question concerning the first challenging on energy, asking to clarify what is actually the goal of the project. It is expected to have a new model, or do we just need the analysis? It seems that the goal is not very clear in the description, so I kindly ask Manuel if you can also reply this lively.
Yes, oops. Oh, I should come in. Okay, I'm here. So David, thank you for your question. Maybe it's not clear as told. The point here is that we have many models that already detect the status, but we want to predict this in a near future stage. So this is the difference for the challenge. We want to detect in the near future, rather than detecting that the family or the person is already in the state of energy poverty. Okay. We want to have a model, and this is mainly the goal of this challenge. For the analysis, we'll leave for a second stage. If it is possible, it will be good to have, but the main aspect here is to get a model that is going to be replicated to several different contexts. And so getting the model means getting the features that are important to predict the future stage of energy poverty. Okay.
Okay.
This is, if not, okay, just come back to me.
Okay, so David Quispe Guano Luisa, if it's not clear, please address again Manuel. He'll be happy to clarify. The second question was addressed to Walter Quadrini from Polini concerning the challenge number 3 on manufacturing, saying that is expected to test in real life scenarios, also connect to robots or machines. Will the end users and robot be provided by ENFIELD consortium, or do the applicants need to include partners from these in the proposal? So Walter, can you also please reply lively to this question?
Yes, definitely. I already replied in text, but yes, the setup is supposed to be provided by the applicant or by some applicant of the consortium. It is not necessary a real installation, a real like a pilot, a laboratory with any kind of machinery which could react is perfectly fine. Yeah, and also camera and so on. We can use our facility to eventually validate something, but I mean, configuring the tool with our asset is for some cases is quite an effort, and we cannot guarantee this is something that we will be able to do in a reasonable time. So if the applicant has, it's much better and considered.
Okay, thank you. Now we have a question that just we received concerning the challenge remote health patient monitoring. The question is, are the recent PhD graduates eligible for this project? I would address not to Astic this question because it's concerning the applicant, so I will address this question to Mariana.
Okay, so the question is, are the recent PhD graduates eligible for these projects, remote health patient monitoring? So this, I think it depends, because the call itself is not intended for a PhD graduates. It's intended for research entities or private for-profit entities. So I'm not sure. Anna, do you have any?
Unless the PhD graduates are part of a research center and apply through the research center, then you can apply to this call. As individuals, the innovation scheme does not allow you.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we take the opportunity also to invite you to stay tuned on the 4th open call for the exchange schemes that will be launched in the next months, that it's open for individual applications. Okay, so it seems that we have answered the questions, and in case there are further questions, if someone wants to unmute the microphone and ask questions live, please go ahead. It seems
I have
not.
a question.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question
Okay.
with the energy poverty. Can you repeat what kind of information you already have and what kind of information you expect that we would be able to provide additionally?
Okay, good. So we have for now the energy consumption of a neighborhood within a neighborhood. This means for each consumer, we have the energy consumption regarding electricity. We also have the energy efficiency of the building and even the apartment, if we can say so. So for the rest, we would like to get the features that are needed. The ones that are on the domain of the municipality or the energy utility, we might get them for sure with more or less difficulty, but we'll get them. Regarding the other features, we'll need to let's say to describe them, and we hope that they are in public domain. This means weather, this means social, demographics, and so on. So the model needs to be developed, and within the development, we'll get the features that are needed for the model.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay. Any other question from any of the participants? Okay.
I think we have one question in the chat as well.
Okay. Before going to the chat, Christos, do you want to put your question? I will answer to the one in the chat.
Well, it was more for the energy poverty. I have been reading the challenge before. I just want to make clear. I also heard about what it was about. So what you do get is the data from the municipality, and what exactly do you want to solve with the energy poverty?
Okay.
I mean, it's because in that way we can understand at least. We do have a tool which makes this, but I don't know exactly what you really want to solve. To get all the data and be able to solve the process by making use of AI? Do you want to do energy reduction? What exactly?
Okay. Nowadays, we have this kind of models that detect if someone is in a energy poverty state. So if this is the status, we'll make the municipalities, the governments take some funds, and they get or at least try to get the person, the family, out of this situation. So they spend money. The purpose here is to detect earlier as possible if a family is going to fall into this status. So by detecting this, we just reduce the costs that we are going to have by taking out the family from this status, okay?
So what you really want to do is to calculate the energy consumption of the residential energy consumption, and by knowing how many kilowatt hours is, so you can see if that is on an energy poverty, because energy poverty is quite generic, you know?
No, it's not generic. The definition that we have placed in our challenge is the definition from the European Commission. And the definition of the European Commission states clearly that it's the status where the costs are so reduced that our health is being affected already. So this is the definition of the European Commission and that we are using here. And we want to early detect this status. Okay, Christos.
Okay, well, okay, anyway. Because energy poverty in the way of what it means, and I know what is the definition of European Union. It has to do with the number of kilowatt hours that an energy family is consuming. So in that way, you can understand indirectly the economic level of the family itself. And that's also what it does the European Union with all of the European countries. There is the average energy poverty that it is defined by each country, actually. It's not it is like 80% of the, let's say, of the average GDP of the country itself or of the energy consumption. So that's why I'm asking what do you really mean. But anyway, we will see these details anyway. If I do have any more questions, I can email you. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to place the definition of the Commission here in the comments, okay? So it might be easier for everyone to just to assess this.
Okay, thank you, Manuel. We already also replied to the question on the chat concerning eligibility of participants. In terms of questions concerning the technical challenges of the proposal, is there any other participant that has a question to any of the challenges? If not, Mariana, Faik has a question. Faik, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much. I just want to ask, is there any resources for the information from satellite for the ocean or Earth surface? We are thinking to do some work in this area. We can ask for, while we have one source, my colleague here have the source website.
Okay, so I'm guessing that your question is addressing the space challenge. So perhaps,
yes, that's correct.
this question is for you.
Yes. Hello. Can you repeat again the question, please?
I'm just asking about the resource for the data.
Okay.
I'm working. Yeah. I'm from engineering. My colleague from computing, and he have a website on getting the information from the satellite on the sea for the oceans. And we try to do some work. Do you have more resources, maybe better than the one which he have?
Okay. Yes, I actually the images that are usually being used for the oil spill detection or vessel detection in oceans are radar images, and this is because of the backscattering reflectance that we are getting back when the radar signal hits on a still target.
Yeah.
And so what we are looking into this, it's actually what we are mostly using are open access European Space Agency's images from Sentinel-1 satellite, which is a C-band synthetic aperture radar instrument equipped satellite. So,
is it possible to send me the link later after?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
so
thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Faik, in order to send you the link, please send us the request also to our email address of the open call, so we can then
that's fine.
reply to you. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. From the website there. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Thanks. But
I
sent email not responding. Sorry, just I remember. I sent you an email, but it's not responding. I don't know why. It's not.
Please ensure that you are using the proper email address. We will add it to the chat. Okay. Sometimes a misspelling email does not
Yeah, I tried it earlier to check, but yeah, thanks. Is that the email not appear yet, I think?
Okay, I will put it on the chat.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Meanwhile, Mariana, it seems that there is no more questions, so please.
Yeah. Thank you very much for all of your questions. In any case, if you come up with further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us through the email that Anna just put on the chat. We will try our best to either answer it ourselves or redirect it to our partners if they are of a technical nature. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your availability. We hope that this was an interesting session for you and that you are now interested in applying to our open call. If no further questions, then I wish you all a great day and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.